Oh, get down here. Right then, guys. Trying to get the phone set up on the stand somewhere in the garage where you can try and see everything, because it alters the camera angle when I do it, so I can basically using the selfie camera so I can see everything on the screen rather than doing it the other way and guessing that everything's in screen. So what I'm planning on doing today is, you can probably just see down here on this stump, especially if I kick it back a bit more, I've got some different tools laid out. So even though I've just got my camera set up, I'll bring you in and show you them. So what I've got here is my little old wetlands hatchet I use for carving, the samurai saw, the FC240, and I've got my Mora 120, but it's not actually a Mora. It is an Eric Frost Mora. Okay, oh, you can see that. Where's the camera? There we go. Tap the screen to focus. It's not focusing. Bloody phone. I don't know. Anyway, don't matter. But yeah, it's an Eric's Frost. So I found some damaged silver birch the other day, and I'm just having a play, as you can see on the floor, with my granddad's old spoke shave. Now I've got a couple more of these. This tool chest up. I don't know whether you can see. Not that drawer. This drawer. Yeah, my granddad also had a brand new one that has, just brand new. It's never been used. And then years ago, when I was a kid, buying all my own tools when I was like 10 or something like that from the pound shop, I bought this one. So it's not great. I mean, it'll work if I sharpened it up a bit more, but the steel's not very good quality. You can see on there it's either Chinese or Japanese, something like that. Probably Chinese. So I've got this one, and I've just adjusted the blade simply by tapping these down, and started having a play on this here. So yeah, I'm gonna have a bash at making a hobo reel. So instead of running it all and it being boring, seeing me just chipping away, I'll bring you back now and again to see how it's going on. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my nice fancy jumper on, fresh out the drawer. So, and now I'm going to cover it in wood shavings like I normally do. Because this silver birch has been in the sun, you can probably see it already. Maybe if the camera focuses. Now it's asking me if I want to adjust the light, and I don't. I want it to focus, and it probably won't because I've got it this way round on selfie and not the other camera. But anyway, believe me, there's a little crack in there, and that's the end that I wanted to keep. So what I'm going to have to do is saw this off. The sun is coming out today, so the garage is slightly warming up. So I'll cut that off, but I'll not do it yet, because then the part in here will start to dry out and may crack while I'm working. So I'll leave that on and cut that off last. So I'm going to clamp this end in, which has got this bit of black in here. You can see there's death in this tree anyway. Before the Forestry Commission ploughed it over with their machines, I'll clamp that end up in the vise, like I've done here. And I'm just going to clean it off. What I've done with the axe is already just really knock those off so it doesn't damage the spoke shave and get stuck on them. So this is my dad's old engineering vise. Very good, heavy duty, strong vise. Of course, got to clean up afterwards. So a very good tool. There's no maker's mark or anything on this. It's old. You know, the design. Basically, there's no way to adjust it. No screws. Just tap the blade out or tap it back in. It's a bit easier than trying to do this with the carving knife. Maybe one day I'll make myself one of those shave horses you've probably seen. I'll turn it around now. To this side, and then probably fine it up with the knife. And like I said, this is the end I want to keep, so I can just put that end in the vise to take some of this off, because I wanted it about there anyway in length, but I've got to cut some of this off, so I just need to go slightly forward. Got to work quite quicker than usual on this, because it's being warm. It's going to want to start and dry out and crack, and I don't want that to happen. So once I've got it to the stage where I want it, I'll get it in the kitchen and get it in some oil so it doesn't dry out. One thing I can do, and I was going to do, is have a bit of water in here with me, so I can just keep wetting it so it soaks in and doesn't split. That's another Simon's tip for you. So now that's all trimmed off. First time I've had a go at making one of these, so I don't know what to do next. I have to drill an hole first. Oh yeah, I said I'm going to trim a bit more this way, so get it in here and hold this the right way around. That'd help. Tighten up a bit. And careful, because that's the end that I want. I don't damage it. Just knock all these bits on the floor. But with it being green, it will recover from being squished in the vise. So that's that done. I've got some bigger flat bits, but all I've got is a 20mm, which actually looks quite good for this. So that's the end I'm going to cut off last. That's probably where my fishing line will be. So this will be the end where I'm going to drill. This is the end I want to cut off anyway. So let me just tidy this up a bit with my knife. Of course it's green wood, so I'm going to use my samurai saw for cutting that off. So safety cutting, hands into the chest, and you can lever away. So just tidy up around those knots. Once it's oiled, this way I'm really restricting movement towards myself as well. I'm not going to come right in, and even if I come right in, my hand's going to hit me. I've not got the knife handled that way. Yeah, once it's oiled, I can sand it and smooth it off, and then just rub some oil into that surface. So it'd be lovely if you could just pick up a seasoned wood and drop it on a lathe, but I haven't got a lathe. So anyway, let's cut some of these bits out, like I said. See you soon. Okay, so I'm going to cut what I class as the bad end off now with the samurai saw. So let's show you how good this is. This is about nearly 2 inch thick as it is at the minute. So this, like I say, cuts on the pull back action. So I love these saws. Okay, back again. I just started drilling out, and what I'm worried is, because the wall is thin, is I don't want the heat from the drilling to dry this out. So I was looking for somewhere I can get some water, or should I say something to put water in. So now I'm just going to keep this wet, because like I said, I don't want it to dry out and crack. Put the water in there. Okay, carry on drilling. The battery in this drill is almost flat. I do have another drill behind me I can pinch the battery from. That's created a bit more heat, so a bit more water. Too much water, so I can just let that run over here. That looks a bit rude, that I just realised that. But yeah, I'm rubbing the water out and down so all this doesn't dry out. Okay, so I'll just put my fingers on the drill bit and try and measure how deep I've gone. So I'm thinking about fishing floats and things like that. So a little bit more water in there. There we go. Just tighten that vise up a little bit more. Just hope this doesn't come through the side. Because it looks like it might do, it might come very close to the side. And if it does, it's ruined. So, in a minute. It's not very deep, only a very short float could go in there. So a little bit more water. So now we've got probably enough for a little float in there. It is looking quite rough in there. So I'll just put the drill in loosely. Once it's dried out and absorbed some oil, we can drill it again, and it'll hopefully not fluff up as much, and I'll get that out a lot better. Also, once it's dry, I'll carve a plug for that, or I'll get a piece of cork. I'm wondering whether just to go that little bit deeper, because looking at the handle, I'm only probably down to here, and I've got all that in the vise. So let's go a little bit deeper. At least I know I've got that length now in the hobo reel. So while I've got it like that, just dip it into the pot, keep it wet. Oh, my bench is getting a mess, and so is my slippers. A stone here with a hole in for the bearing block for the bow drill. Right, so I'm going to tidy this up a bit more now. Then I'm going to carve the groove, a bit like a cotton reel to hold the line, and then cut the end off, and then get it in some oil. So yeah, and then I can work on it more when it's dried out and been replaced with oil. So bye for now. So what I'm doing now is I've cut the stick to length. I've just rounded off slightly the end, which I'll do more when it's, you know, it's stable and it's in oil. The end's drilled out, ready for storage. So I'm now starting to carve where the fishing line will be. And just, you know, hands tight into the chest so I'm not going to have any slips with the knife. I'm just starting to feather that up. Now, another tip for you. I could have done this easier if I'd left this long here and cut that off after, because then I could have spun it round that way and worked away from myself and had plenty to hold on to. But the piece on the floor that I cut off was only about 1 inch anyway, so it's not really safe to try and hold on to that. So the way I will do it is probably pulling it into my chest like that and working it away from myself so it's still safe and I've really got a good grip, and I'm also pushing the knife into myself while I'm working away so that I'm not pushing the knife away from myself, and then I could slide down here, cut my thumb or my fingers. So that's the way I'm going to be doing. So I'm basically rolling the knife into my belly, my big padded belly. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So see you in a minute. Progress so far. I've also changed the way I'm carving. So hands still really dug into the chest. Bit at a time, keep spinning it round, and also put more water on. So it's not just the heat from my hand, it's also the heat from my body, the dryness from my body. Will also start to dry the wood out because I can feel it in my hand. Because of how dry my hands are. I can feel all this moisture coming out of the wood and being absorbed by my hand. So this is here is like how I want it. Turn it around and you can see it's not as deep, so I'm going to take that to that, and eventually I'll smooth that end off, so when you throw your line in and you point it towards it, the line goes off. What I'm also going to do is drill a hole straight through, so that when I first put the line on, I tie it on and then I wind it round. And also what I'm going to do, and I'm lucky, is that with the size of it, I'll be able to stretch this Ranger band over the top to hold the line on. Also keep a couple spare on the handle, so that if that one snaps, I can take another one off and use it to hold the line and the hook in place. Yeah, cool. See you soon. Okay, so something I wanted to share with you was a thought I've just had. I'm here carving this like this, and I thought, what other good way would be to do it? Well, thinking if you've got one, and I have, I should have brought my crook knife out, because the crook knife works brilliant across the grain, and I could have just been here taking it away with the crook knife. So if I make another one, I'll try that. So this just slightly needs finishing up a little bit more. Then I'm quite happy for it to go into the oil in the kitchen, and in a couple of weeks, maybe a week, depending on the temperature of how fast it dries out and I replace it with oil, I'll be ready to finish this off. And when I come to do that, I can carve a spiral into the handle, I could carve a little pattern into the handle, anything like that. Obviously I'll be smoothing it off, maybe even with some sandpaper, I don't know. Make a plug for there, tidy that out. I could put sandpaper on a stick, put it in and drill it, and it's done. But that now is probably coming down to somewhere like there for storage, so that's good storage area. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. The hobo reel, so you can see you've got plenty of handle that can just slide in your pack, and yeah, well, of course there'll be a video when it's fully done. So just moved the camera and now it's all gone crazy. So yeah, up in that orange bag there is what's left of my coarse fishing gear. What I've started to get again from my friend John. And his name's John Atherton Bushcraft. I'm not sure whether he's got a YouTube channel, but he gave me this lovely rod. So when this virus thing's all over, we'll be out fishing with that gear. And maybe when we go to the coast, I'll take this, because in a bag over there, you can probably just see it. You can see the red spades, but the carrier bag there, that's got all crabbing line gear in, which never really done with kids, because they don't seem to be that interested like I were when I were a kid. So anyway, I'm just going to fiddle about with this a little bit more, keep dropping it in water. Just had a visit from my wife, and that'll be it. So it's very primitive, but that's what it has to be. You know, I've seen somebody the other day doing this with a knife, which you can do, but you know, I'll just do it with a drill. It's not cheating. We're still carving. You know, using a drill. We've used some other primitive tools, a spoke shave, to clean it off. So yeah, damn, I look old now, don't I? Look, you know, these bloody lines here. Oh, getting close to 40 now. Take care. See you soon.